2:30.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you have some time.
Yeah, I got
We
some
won't keep
time.
you for 2 hours.
Yeah, you're all good.
Can you guys take us through, I guess, the decision last year to redshirt, how that was kind of decided on, and I guess kind of at the time how you were feeling about it, and maybe looking back now, how you kind of benefited from that?
Yeah, it was going into week 5, so going into the Michigan week. Um, I feel like it, just had a good spring ball, good fall camp. Got some good reps under my belt. Those first 4 games, playing the run, experiencing the pass at this level, coming from the JUCO, which was big. And I think just looking at our depth in the D line, we had some older guys at end, and then a lot of young guys that trying to space out their eligibilities, and so that way we have depth throughout the years. And it was redshirting is always tough to hear, but it's for the better. And me and Coach Rule and T Knight talk about it all the time. Now looking back, like, aren't you glad he did it? So it's a good experience.
It takes some trust in the moment to do that, doesn't it? Because I'm sure you want to keep playing and keep building on what you were doing.
Yeah, for sure. It's just all trusting the coaches, trusting the program. Call Coach Rule. Call me in my office and talk to him. Don't feel pressured. It's nothing on the spot. Go talk to your parents, talk to your family. Let me know how you feel. Want to be open in communication. So it was all good. All trusting them.
How has that work helped you now? How are you a different player, maybe a better player this year, having gone through that?
For sure. I mean, the weight gain is the biggest thing. Being able to put on good weight, and I think being able to play scout and where you're watching film on other guys is huge, because you get to take bits and pieces from each player that you play, and experiment with different stances, different techniques, different pass rush moves. So that on the field stuff is huge, and then also you just have a deeper relationship with your coaches. Now that you build that foundation of trust, it's like there's no problem. Hey, coach, can I see you after practice? Can we talk about this? Can I come see you? So yeah.
How much weight did you gain?
I'm up to like 255 now, so I got up to low 260s at the end of the year last year, and then just been leaning out, trying to keep good weight, add muscle, just bring down the fat and stay lean. So I'm up there.
Coach Rule was talking yesterday about Riley Van Poppel redshirting, having that same conversation. Did you talk with him at all, or kind of vouch for that process when he was making that decision too?
Yeah, I think it was either the day of or the day after that. I think him and Coach Rule had his talk. We were sitting at breakfast talking about it at lunch again, and I had called him, just talking about other things, and then it got brought up, and he was asking me questions, and we just had it was nothing crazy, nothing super deep, but it was just, like you said, trust and honesty in the program.
Who are you kind of having to go up against every day when you were on the scout team last year? Who were you going up against on the offensive line regularly?
Bryson Turner. Yeah.
I guess from going against those guys every day, I mean, what did that kind of help you to do? Kind of
it was good. It was good going against those guys just because of their veteran knowledge of the game, and being a scout player where we're filling a role for them to get better. We're getting better as well, but it's like we're serving a look for them. So being able to talk with him, in between plays, after practice, hey, what did you see on this? Is there anything I can do better? So them being able to critique me on like rushes that they see or rushes that they are expecting, just it helped me look at the game a little bit different. Just more nitpicky and stuff.
From a defensive line perspective, how different was Northern Iowa just in terms of how it runs the ball from what you saw the first 2 weeks, and maybe how does that prepare you for Illinois?
I think it was great. Starting off the year, being able to rush the passer, knowing shut the run game down early, being able to rush the passer, having those opportunities later in the game, and then going into Northern Iowa, a big offensive team, run the ball down your throat kind of offense. I think it was really good. It's kind of that preemptive game into Illinois, the same style of offense. We're gonna run the ball. We're gonna be mobile with the quarterback, and I think, Coach Rule talking about we're not happy with the win. We're unhappy with our standard. So it's all about the standard that we're playing to now, and I think it was good. Yes, we come out with the win. Yes, we did a lot of good things, but what can we do better from that game, and come out with another way to come out with a chip on your shoulder this week.
Do you have a sense for how deep the line is? I don't know if you talk to guys at other programs, but it seems like you guys just have the luxury of not needing to play 60 snaps individually. You guys can spread it around and be fresh.
Yeah, I have friends at a bunch of different programs at all different conferences and stuff like that, and I know that it's most teams have a depth to some degree. Comes down to coaching staff and all that kind of thing, but yeah, our room is super blessed. We have old guys inside, old guys outside. We're going to have depth for, all the years to come. I think we have just so many guys with different abilities that can play inside, can play outside, just non-traditional. We have everything, and I think that's the biggest thing is so many plug-in players that you can put at so many different positions.
How are you different as a pass rusher individually now than maybe you were when you showed up here?
I think when I showed up here, it was I'm good at this, so let me do this, and okay, maybe I'm not good at that, but I'm good at this. So now it's yes, I'm good at this, but I need to get better at this, and I think that going against those older guys, their ability to read, rushes and how people rush, it's like you can't just do the same things. It's not just a cookie cutter player. Like you have to be able to adapt to their sets, adapt to different slides and offensive schemes. So I think, just being able to have different moves in my bag now, working with T-Knight in the offseason, working with Ira, working with Coach Jack, like it's just the offseason was the biggest thing for me. Contacting coaches, what can I do differently? What do I need to work on? And I think me and James Williams are the same way in that aspect.
Yeah, you mentioned James. He also redshirted last year with you. What kind of changes have you seen him in this year based on last year?
I think the biggest thing with him is his mentality. Like he and I both, it was that run game mentality where we're pass rushers. Well, okay, it's run play. Well, we're pass rushers, and I think that us being forced to switch that mindset, putting on the weight. He's put on a bunch of weight too, just like I have, and I think we're both in that same realm where it always comes down to mindset. Like we always have the ability. It's just mindset every snap, and I think both of us have matured in that way.
When Nebraska has the lead in the second half the way that you guys have, and you get backups in and a bunch of other guys in, what's the value in that for those guys? I mean, you were kind of part of that last year, but like, what's that value in getting that experience and kind of getting guys a taste of what the standard is and what they can expect?
I think it's great. It's that getting your feet wet, because you can practice against our starters who are at an elite level, but at the same time it's like you need to go against somebody else at some point, and game atmosphere is completely different than practice. As much as Coach Rule tries to replicate the game atmosphere, it's just for me last year too. It was the greatest thing to be able to get your feet wet because that first play, no matter who you're playing Big Ten football, you're on a game field. You're going to be shaking, you're going to be jittery, so I think it's just getting your feet wet is just the biggest thing. Whether it's you get one snap, okay, it's out of the way. Now you can play football, and I think that's huge for a lot of those guys.
Thanks.
Thanks,
Cool.
guy.